Thomas Paine once wrote, "Those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom must, like men, undergo the fatigues of supporting it." And so we shall. And that is a real story. Joining us now, New York Times bestselling author of the book Inside Trump's White House, The Real Story of His Presidency, Doug Wead. Doug, are we even in America anymore?
Boy, Natalie, that was a brilliant synopsis. I'm going to have to capture that video and show it to everybody in my family. It's stunning how all of these leaders in Joe Biden's administration insisted that they would not force this. They couldn't legally force it. And then that's exactly what they've done. No, this is getting really, really scary. My daughter was recently contacted by Facebook, and she's being required by Facebook to send them back a picture of her holding her driver's license with a picture of herself on the driver's license in order to be reinstated on Facebook. She has a friend who just started posting pro-Joe Biden posts and was taken off the hit list and allowed to do so. So this is getting scary when they not only block you for what you're saying, but they reward you, like in a good communist country, if you repeat the party line. It's getting spooky.
Well, when you look at how much attention they're doing in terms of these vaccine passports or even showing ID, and yet they could care less about elections, whether or not you show ID to vote.
Yeah, you know, I got the vaccine immediately, and I'm all for the vaccine, but this is just astonishing. The government knows best, the mentality, and it's so counterproductive. It's so harmful for the very cause that they're proclaiming. So,
You're so right.
I don't know what's happening to the Biden folk and the advice they're getting here on 9/11, anniversary of 9/11. The Pentagon has closed down the memorial. So if you wanted to go to the Pentagon and sit there under a tree named after one of the people who died on 9/11 at the Pentagon, you can't do it. They've shut it down. This is a Pentagon that's focused on what's woke and what isn't woke, and 9/11 doesn't matter. As Joe Biden said, the greatest and worst and most terrible event since the Civil War was the January 6th demonstration at the Capitol. Who cares about 9/11?
It's so sad, especially coming up on 9/11, where so many people, the different polls coming out, they feel less safe. They also feel like we've forgotten the lessons that we learned from 9/11. There's no sense of spirit. There is in the heartland of America, there is that American spirit, but Biden's trying to break that, saying that freedom isn't there anymore. And it's so sad because President Trump worked so hard on Operation Warp Speed, but just like everything else, Biden's botching it by saying this is mandatory and we're going to make you lose your job. We're going to make your kids get kicked out of school if you don't comply.
Yeah, I'm going to rewind this segment and watch that synopsis you put together. That was truly well done and astounding. I'm reminded on this anniversary of 9/11 of the Benjamin Franklin quote, "He who is willing to sacrifice liberty for security will lose both." And that's one of the dangers that came out of 9/11. I mean, we had the director of intelligence on national TV denying that the government was spying on people, and shortly after it was proved they were. Here's perjury committed in Congress that every American can see. Your viewers can go right now to YouTube and see this head of intelligence lying, and now big tech is helping China track its citizens. So I'm sure that Biden is considering employing big tech to help him in this war on the American people.
The trust in government, it's gone. President Trump had built that relationship with the American people. It wasn't trust in government, but trust that he was fighting for us every single day. And that trust now is gone. We haven't seen consequences for Russia, or any of the witch hunts that the Democrats did. What's your message to America this 9/11 especially? Because we are in a very dark place right now. It feels like we're losing our freedoms, but people are still fighting harder than ever before to stay free.
Well, the idea of America is not going to be easily vanquished, and you can see that in the resistance that Biden is getting. Uh, they can stop us from speaking. They can twist our words. They can keep us from renting a home that they decide we can't have, like they're doing in China right now. They can control or stop religion, as they're doing in China right now. They can put people in concentration camps, as they're doing in China right now. Our biggest friend and biggest customer in the Biden administration. But they can't extinguish or kill these great ideas that Hamilton and Washington and Franklin and Jefferson, they're there and they aren't going to go away no matter how many statues they destroy and how many mandates they enforce. They're not going to easily go away. They're born in the hearts of every one of us.
Amen. The spirit of America, when you look at the people out there, we took so many freedoms for granted, but during COVID, when they started to be taken away, we realized just how blessed we are to be free. And you do have to fight for that freedom. It doesn't mean it's easy, but as President Trump says, nothing's easy, but who wants nothing? And right now we're realizing we're going to end up with nothing if we don't fight back. Doug, have a blessed weekend remembering, and thank you for all you do for our country.
Thank you. You too. That was a great job. That
Thank you.
synopsis was wonderful.
You're the best, Doug. We'll look forward to seeing you soon.